We found the computer outlet, sir.
Plug in. You should be able to interpret the entire imperial network.
You are listening to the 501st Cast, the official podcast of the 501st Legion, Lucasfilm's preferred imperial costuming organization. Stay tuned to global news from the front lines of the Empire as the men and women of Vader's Fist celebrate decades of promoting Star Wars, honing the art of costumes and props, and contributing to the community through charity and volunteer work.
Give me regular reports, please. Right.
And here are your hosts. Take it away, troopers.
Copy that.
Welcome back to the 501st Cast, the official podcast of the 501st Legion, Vader's Fist. This is our introduction episode to kick off the continuation of the 501st Cast. And here are your hosts, myself, Mike Hinton, TK5351 from Garrison Carida, with
Chris Nitro, TR82065 from the Northeast Remnant Garrison.
Matt Schraeder, TB99920 from Starkiller Garrison.
And I'm Anthony, AP Pizzuto, SL22381 from the Northeast Remnant Garrison. All right, folks, let's dive into stats. Who doesn't love stats? Straight from the ISB, the Imperial Security Bureau. As of December 27th, 2025, we have 12,889 active troopers with 29,206 approved costumes with 3,140 new or pending members in the database. So we are growing, folks. Also, fun fact, we have 7 ready for duty. So get out there and start trooping there, troopers. And in 2025, there were 814 total costumes approved. So that's pretty good, right? Now, another fun fact, because who doesn't love fun facts, right, guys?
right.
The number one costume is with a TI designator. So that's 5,436 approved costumes, like the TIE Reserve, the TIE Fighter, the TIE Ceremonial, whatever. What do they go to ceremonies, right? The TIE Fighter people go to ceremonies?
I would imagine.
Yeah, right. And then the costume that has the lowest number of approved members is the one with the CP designation. That's the clone pilot with 22. So, folks, get on it. Let's lift the clone pilots up a little bit. Get those numbers up there. All right, that's me with the stats. Nitro, why don't you hit us up with some recent news?
Thank you, AP. This being our first introductory podcast, we wanted to kind of just break the mold a little bit and talk about a big event that happened recently instead of going into our standard mission report routine. So we'll do a small little roundtable here about Trooperfest. This being late December now, Trooperfest is well over a month ago, almost 2 months ago now. And 2 of us got to attend. But we want Matt and Mike's perspectives on Trooperfest and see how was it sought after or not sought after from people who weren't able to attend. So I'll start with this. Anthony, how did you like Trooperfest?
I loved Trooperfest. So, it reignited my passion for the group. Being surrounded by so many of us in one location from so many different places at one time was just awesome. Like we've gone to celebrations before and we'll bump into each other, but we've not done a 501st centric event together that was just about us. And I loved it. I was glad I went. I am hankering for the next one. Hopefully we start talking about when that might happen soon. But I loved it. It was just great to meet new people. They had panels, so it had a con type of feel, so you could learn some stuff. It wasn't just social. And then there was the trading. I made my first trade there. I have my coin back there. It's a Pathfinder coin. I was very proud of my first trade. So yeah, Chris, what did you think? You were down there as well with the Northeast Remnant.
And we in the Northeast Remnant, we came down in force. I'm very, very proud of our garrison. Other than the Florida garrison folks, who were wonderful hosts, Mushu and team, fantastic people. Had a great time down in Florida. I echo all the sentiments. It was a great event. I think they used to do something similar a long time ago, like way in the early days of Legion, maybe it was a more regional thing or something to that effect, but I don't know the entire history of it. But it was reignited. This event took over 2.5 years of planning because it kind of started and then kind of died, and then everyone finally came together and made it happen. I thought it was a fantastic event. I do have a couple of suggestions, if you want to call it. I want to be negative about the whole thing, but I want to hear from Matt and Mike. Like, what did you guys hear about the Trooper Fest? Let's start with Matt. Matt, go ahead.
So whenever it first was announced, I saw what it was and realized I can't go because of work and everything. So I kind of just tuned everything out until I saw the pictures start flooding. I was like, wait. Can we go back in time? Can I like call off work or something to get in here? So it looked amazing. Just the pictures. There were so many people there, and I've heard some stories of people who were down there. And we did have the Trooper of the Month for November come out of it. That there was an incident that happened there. Kim Klein, DS72116 from the Florida Garrison. That nice. There was a member who suffered a health-related incident, and Kim was on the spot and took care of that person until more official health personnel could come by and take care of the situation. The trooper is fine, made a recovery, but it was a heat-related thing. But shout out to Kim. So awesome job there.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. Thanks, Kim.
Yeah, I was sorry I missed it. Like, it kind of reinvigorated me to get more involved in back into the 501st. Like, I think I just took it for granted, like I just took, being into 501st, and you just, go about your day, so it made me, it looked wonderful. Like, it looked, everything about it is like, at one point in time, I was like Matt, like, man, I just wish why didn't I see this? I was, angry at myself, but it looked really good. And I would encourage anyone in the Legion to just look it up, see all the stuff you guys did. It looked like a blast.
It definitely was a fantastic time. I do wish more people were able to attend. And so I'll go into a little bit of the criticisms. The price point was a little bit high, being that it was in a celebration year, which is another negative. Those are the two biggest critiques that I heard. I think the price point was worth it. I mean, you're basically playing for a private photo session, although it was with your fellow Legionnaires. You're paying for a private photo session inside a Disney park, right? Without the public being available, all that stuff. So the price point was pretty much par for the course. But having it been in the same year as a Legion year, I could understand a little bit more. A lot of people had to save up their nickels and dimes to head over to Japan this year, and doing two quote unquote large scale events for the Legion in the same year kind of was a little bit stretching. However, this was a jump off point. This is something that, we were kind of testing the waters and see what it was. So we didn't want it to be hundreds of thousands of people. I think they were just shy of 400 attendees, or maybe slightly over 400 attendees.
Oh, that's great.
So yeah, it was definitely well attended in my opinion. We had a really good turnout. Some of the information could have been divulged a little bit better. It's a kind of hard to do that kind of stuff when there's people expect things in different avenues. Like, some people want it from social media, some people want to check the boards. Sometimes the board information isn't updated so regularly. Mushu did a great job trying to put out regular video updates and saying like, hey, we're down here, we're setting up, whatever, or these are the things to come. Some of the stuff was out of their control, right? I defend them in that aspect. Is like, up until the minute of when we were going into Hollywood Studios, things were changing, right? And that's beyond our control, right? They did the best they could. I think they did a fantastic job. I would wholeheartedly go again, which leads me to my next question. When should or where should the next Trooper Fest be? I'll go around the room. Let's start with Mike this time.
Well, I would like it to be in Florida only because it would be easier to get my armor there. But if it was in California, I could stay with my daughter. So either one is I would either one. They outweigh. They kind of weigh the same to me. So either one would be fine with me. I think the humidity of Florida might push it over to California.
Matt, how about you?
Yeah, I think Mike makes a good point that it's got to be in one of the Disney parks. California typically has less humidity. Although if you would do it in Florida, say February-ish, whenever there's not a whole big crowd, it might be drive down the price a little bit to get in. They're not going to have to spend quite so much to rent out the park if it's not as popular, if they're as crowded, or if we could get an evening or have it start a little bit later, something along those lines. But pretty much wherever they're going to have it, I'm going to try to get there as much as I can.
Cool. Anthony, what about you?
So I'm fine with either one, but I have a controversial question. Does it have to be at a Disney park to be a success?
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Thanks for the segue.
You're welcome.
And it's sorry to cut you off here, right? But
No.
that's the point I was going to make was, why does it have to be at a Disney park, right? If we're going to do something Legion centric, we want to focus on ourselves, right? Why do we want to have the distraction so close by of having people go to the parks? I heard the panels were fantastic, but I was at the parks that day, right? Or each day, right? Because I went down with my family. So they weren't going to sit through a leather making class, right? They weren't going to sit through a bunch of a couple of stunt people who were on the shows talking about their experiences. They just my kids were not going to do that. My kids are 11 and 8, by the way. So yes, they weren't going to sit there and listen to how to do a leather whatever. So I've been toying around the idea of, and I joked with Mushu, is like, does the hosting Garrison get to pick who hosts it next? Right.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
And Mushu joked. He said, "Well, do I pick the people I like, or do I pick the people I don't like?"
So what you're saying is Skywalker Ranch. Is that what I'm hearing?
I wish we could do something like that. But I did joke, and I'm kind of half serious about this. Is like, there are theme parks all over the country, right? The get-togetherness of it doesn't have to be at a Disney park, right? It doesn't have to be at a theme park at all, right? Here in New Jersey, for example, we have the American Dream Mall, which is a water park, a theme park. It has indoor snow skiing, whatever, an ice rink, an aquarium. It has all these things. Like, I'm thinking Mall of America has something similar set up. So I challenge everyone, to think like, hey, we could think outside the box and maybe bring the cost down, because I said that was one of the points of contention, is if we don't have to do this photo shoot, which again, hats off to everybody for getting that done. It was fantastic. It should be done every once in a while, periodically, right? Getting that access to the park was amazing. But does it have to be that way? And my opinion is it doesn't. Right. We could meet up in Hershey, right? We could just, like I said, just because if we want to be near a theme park, just to have an out for the kids and the family and whatnot. And then we could just do not our Comic Con convention, but more of like a convention, a professional type convention for ourselves, where we get the Legion together with the other Legion and the Mandos and the Droid Builders and all that stuff. Because, Droid Con is a fantastic thing, I hear. I've never been. I'd like to go. It's just all these people coming together and just doing their thing. So that's my take on it. I don't know if it's a good take or a bad take or just my own opinion and whatever. So I'll throw it back to you guys. You guys can discuss.
Just one comment. If we do the Mall of America, please do it in the summer. So I've been to conferences in Boston in February and Arizona and Austin, Texas in like July and August. So let's get good weather there.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, you bring up a good point that it doesn't always have to be the same. Like if they, if you do a Trooper Fest, is it every third one is at a park? So everyone gets that wants that. But I do agree. The other nice thing about it is we have so many garrisons building bigger props now that you could go to most garrisons and they have some big piece if you're looking for that in costume part to add to it too,
And then I'll add this too. So 2025, we're at the end of 2025. If we're doing this every 2 years, we kind of have to reset this one to check off that other box of not being in the celebration year, right? So is it do we do a rush one next year, 2026? That way we don't do one in 2027, which the SoCal Garrison will have their hands completely full with. Right. So moving to California may not be a good idea for the next one. And then 2028 would be the subsequent year if we're not doing it in celebration year. Right. So one, it's unfair to the SoCal Garrison to do a rush one. Right. It's also unfair to the SoCal Garrison for making them two big events in a row. Right. If they did it in 27 and 28. And then is it also fair to the Florida Garrison, not that they're not capable, but to do it in their territory again, not knowing that they may get a celebration.
Right.
So like Orlando has had multiple celebrations from what I remember. And then why not travel around the world? Like I would do, sell a Trooper Fest in France or something like that. Like whatever's accessible and whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
I just food for thought for everybody. Maybe we can make that our call to action to our listeners.
Yeah.
Send in your ideas, right? We can always pass that information off to the Legion events team, or just Legion in general, and see, where do we go from here for the next Trooper Fest?
Or at the very least, just send us pictures.
Of your possible venue.
Yes.
Yeah. Or pictures of you at I still didn't see that. I'd still like to see more of the pictures that were actually taken from you guys.
There's a big repository there, so a lot of people uploaded to it. I'm not sure what is available, which kind of brings me up to the next thing. Are we done discussing this? I don't want to segue to the next thing.
I think so.
Okay. So going back to the Trooper Fest, it's not done yet, right? The fine and wonderful folks of the Florida Garrison are still raising funds with another auction. So there's a Trooper Fest auction taking place, and you can bid on things like an E11, a Rogue One TK soft part, Star Tours artwork, and many more things. The auction runs until January 6th. To find information, you look for Trooper Fest on Facebook to find the information. So search for Trooper Fest Space 2025 on Facebook, and all the proceeds go towards Give the Kids the World Village. Give the Kids World Village is an 89-acre nonprofit resort in Central Florida that provides week-long cost-free vacations to children with critical illnesses and their families. Fantastic presentation they did at Trooper Fest. For those that missed, there was not a dry eye in the room. Amazing organization. So head over to Facebook, search for Trooper Fest 2025, and get in on that auction.
And we'll put the link to that in the show notes when we're done.
And I'm trying to find the link to the so they had a silent auction at the event there, and the Florida Garrison through Trooper Fest raised something. I can't find the number, but it was well over $10,000 for
That's awesome.
Yeah, for this nonprofit. So congrats again to everyone who bid on items, for the Florida Garrison for doing this in the first place, for this wonderful organization. Bravo for that huge amount of money that they were able to raise.
Yeah, definitely fantastic event. Again, I'm looking forward to the new one. I hope to see all of you there. I hope to see everyone there. It was a great event, and it takes people like the Florida Garrison to put on a good production like that. So hats off to anybody that takes on that challenge, and you have my full support if you want to go down that road.
Right. They might need an official podcast of Trooper Fest. All right. So that brings us up to that's all our recent news, right? So that brings us up to newest CRLs. So Costume Reference Library. If you are a member, you pretty much know what that is. And if you're not a member and you're thinking about being a member, look up the 501st CRLs before you start, because it costs the same amount of money to do it wrong as it does to do it right most of the time. All right. But the newest one, the Book of Boba Fett, on December 15th, the 501st Bounty Hunters Guild announced a new costume that has been added to their CRL library. Boba Fett, the Book of Boba Fett. And then there's the write-up on that they give it. It says, after parting ways, Din Djarin on Typhon, right? Boba Fett, the legendary bounty hunter, navigates the galaxy's underworld in repainted armor and gear when he returns to the sands of Tatooine to stake his claim on the territory once ruled by Jabba the Hutt and his crime syndicate. If you would like to join the 501st Legion in this costume or find out more information about the build, you can just look up Book of Boba Fett 501st CRLs. And if you need more information, go to the Bounty Hunters Guild, and I'll put that link in the show notes.
So which one of you guys are going to do it? Anybody doing it?
The mission report?
No, the Book of Boba Fett.
Oh, big.
I'm doing it.
I have a lot of it done. Like I have the helmet painted, and I have. It's just that I always bulk at the soft parts because I just can't sew. That's just
Yeah. Nice.
Folks, this is indicative of many a Legion member. Okay.
Yes.
How many projects do you have on your bench that are 80% done, 70% done, and you just never get to that last because something new and shiny comes out, and you're like, oh, I got to pivot.
Well, I did a whole suit of Boba Fett armor for the band. What is it? I forget. They do Star Wars music. I did their armor, and I did the Book of Boba Fett paint job and everything, and then they weren't allowed to use it on stage because
No way. Wow.
Yeah. Galactic Empire. So they had to switch costumes. But so I got practice. I got practice painting it. So
Nice.
no cod piece too. That's what people say that's good about that armor.
Who doesn't love a new cod piece? I mean,
well, you can sit down and not, have your cod piece get in the way. We'll see which one of us get it done first. I'm going to vote for you. Nitro is going to be. It's going to be my. Well, here before we start, how many costumes do you have? Each of us have approved.
Oh, I just have one. Return of the Jedi Vader.
I have one.
I think I have 6.
I have 6 officially in the 501st, 1 in the Rebel Legion. Although the staff officer and then the warrant officer, so it's kind of a cheat on that. It's the black uniformed officer. You have to put in.
You
take off my rank badge, and it's two different costumes.
Got it. So out of the 6 that you have, Matt, which one's your favorite?
Oh, the Biker Scout by far.
Nice. How about you, Nitro?
The Royal Guard. That's where it's at.
Royal Guard. Yeah. All right. And Mike, which is the only one that you have approved? Is that a Vader?
Me, TK. I have a TK.
Got it.
I have a Sand Trooper done. I've just never gotten pictures taken with it. It's done. So I wear it when I troop with the droid builders.
Nice. Get those pictures taken, man.
I know. I like my TK. That's what I always wanted, and that's what I got.
Nice.
So this would normally be the place where we would talk about mission reports, but what we'd like you to do is to please submit your mission reports to the 501st forums, put them on there, and then we're going to share some of the amazing things that our garrisons do each month. We're not going to read every single one, I don't think. It would just take too long, but we're going to highlight some big events and some special things that happen. So put in the information on the forums, and we can get to it on future episodes.
Yes, and if you submit them to us, we'll read them. If you write it up nice and we don't have to edit it, come on.
Maybe we can do like a Patreon version of the podcast where all we do is read every single mission report and
yes.
So it's like you can go to sleep to it, like that kind of voice.
Right.
Like Garrison Carida had a great event at the Philadelphia Flyers game.
Hey, they do have good flyer events. That's a good call. Yeah. So this is our first episode. So anyone listening, we're 20 some minutes in, and we're trying to try a couple new things as we do it. But one of the things here is we thought of a good question to ask that not only we share our answers, but we want to hear your answers. And I will put all of our emails in the show notes if you want to email us, or you can email us at podcast@501stcast.com. But it is, what do you wish you knew before your first troop? And let's start with Vader. What do you wish you knew before your first troop?
Yeah, there were two things that came to mind. The first one was how dependent you are on other people, depending on the complexity of the costume. So the first few times I had to suit up as Vader, I actually needed assistance getting it on. And Nitro likes to joke around that I'm a diva, and that all Vaders are divas, but whatever.
Yes, they are.
But you always depend on someone to help you because visibility is there. It's just hard to move around. One time I was doing a troop, though, early on in my 501st career, and it was me and two other people, and they were traveling together and their car broke down. And I was already at the venue, and it was a school event, and it had all these kids in a gymnasium waiting for Star Wars characters to come out. And so I just figured out how to get myself suited up. And now I'm able to kind of get myself about 99% of the way there without assistance. But it was a frightening moment because I was like, I don't want to let these kids down, but I have no help here. So I figured it out. So knowing and recognizing, how dependent you are on other people, but also how to navigate that in case of an emergency. And then the other one is also depending on your costume, always go to the bathroom before you get your costume on. Those are my words of wisdom.
One reason I love the Biker Scout, on the undersuit, there is a zipper on the bottom that you can pull up just in case you need to.
That's a good guess.
Without
Nitro, what did you wish you knew before your first troop?
How important bucket fans are. Okay. So here's the thing. In a Royal Guard, which was my first costume, the helmet sits all the way onto your shoulders and across your chest, right? So you're literally locked in, right? You have no neck movement, nothing. But because of that, there's no way to breathe, right? so there is and depends how you build your costume. There's a little gap between the visor and the helmet, where it kind of sits right here above the nose. So there's not a huge amount of airflow, but you can sit there and, like, if you're not moving, if you're stationary, if there's a breeze, you can get some kind of airflow. But my first troop, I did not last 10 minutes. I literally went, and it was a con, right? So it was okay. There was an out. I stood there for 10 minutes. I couldn't move. I knew I was in trouble after the first 3 minutes. So I toughed it out. I kind of controlled my breathing. And then I was like, you know what? I need a break. And I literally just ducked behind the curtains, took the helmet off for a couple minutes. And I just did that. I just kept doing 10-minute spurts, go out 10 minutes, go back. And then after about an hour or so, I was like, I'm done. I can't, there's nothing. I was like, I cannot troop in it again until I get some kind of fan system. But I MacGyvered something and I made it work. And from then on, it's very good airflow and whatnot. I love going to hockey games. We mentioned the Flyers, right? Because the hockey games are all cold, right? And I just do a quick swirl, swirl of the robes, and it gets all that airflow going. And
amazing.
But all the fancy bucket fans and stuff like that. When you have your neck area and your chin and all that exposed because it's this shape of the bucket, good on you. In a Royal Guard, get fans. Okay, you not troop without fans.
And Nitro, what kind of fan? Tell the kids at home what kind of fans you're using.
So I originally I devised this fan system where I had an evaporative cooling thing, and I attached a hose that I duct taped and shot it all the way up through my back, and I had this head thing mechanism that would hold it in place and all that stuff. Right in a bin. That lasted about 3 troops, and then the tape started falling apart, and the airflow wasn't working right. It was impressive. When people saw it, they were like, "Wow, that's really cool." It was impressive. I got rid of it. I just got one of those neck fans from Amazon. and that just literally blows air up, and it's all you need is the circulation just going inside the bucket. So
that's nice.
It's like $30 on Amazon. When you have a helmet that sits all the way down to your shoulders and your neck, that's hidden so you can't see it anyway, but it just gives you that airflow, and that's all you need. Don't forget to charge it. Do not forget to charge it.
How about you, Matt?
Well, before we go on, I've seen a snow trooper who does the same thing with that neck fan. So it's not exclusive to the Royal Guard. And this is why I like the Biker Scout, because the ear things are cut out. And so all you have to do is just walk and then natural airflow. So, but for mine, it is to do a test run or a test wear of your costume before you go out and wear it at a troop, because things will move, things will shift, certain things, well, depending on the costume, things will rub in the way you don't want them to rub. You know, after some wear and tear, things might want to fall off. I think, was it Mike, you were talking before about not liking Velcro.
Yep.
And things wear out. And so, yeah, do your test wear of at least a half hour walking around. If you can, kneel down, anything you would probably do during an actual troop, just to get that test run in and find out, all right, what needs to be adjusted.
Or can you breathe?
And can you breathe? Yes. And you have a handler. Well, mine was, so I got an FX kit back in the day, 2006. And so I built it. There was no anything to help you. So I just built it. And again, it was Velcro. So I put all the Velcro on. I was happy. And it probably goes along with what Matt was saying, in the sense you should test wear it first. But I wore it to an event, and I heard this drop behind me, and my thermal detonator, the Velcro just came off the thermal detonator. Luckily, a little kid handed it to me, but I couldn't bend down to get it to save my life. So, yeah, I would say just knowing your costume and being ready, for all those. But we want to hear from everyone. So anyone listening to this, you can email us. I'll put some emails in the show notes, but right now it's podcast at 501stcast.com or 501stcast.com. And let us know what you wish you knew, before you troop the first time. So, but the fans, I like fans, but they give me a headache. So I took my fans out. Because I don't know, mine sits right on this, and I don't know if my sinus cavity is like close to any fan feels like someone's just tapping on my forehead.
Oh wow, yeah.
So I usually I fog up with one eye, and I just look with the other one when you'll see it's TK with his head a little crooked. That's me. So
now we're gonna take turn a little solemn note for the Eternal Legionnaires out there, that this episode of the 501st Cast is dedicated to Heather Anna Cabrera, TI 11189 of the Sand Dune Garrison, Linda Ward, TI 62216 of the Old Line Garrison, Derek James, TK 9634, and Melissa James, TK 9644 of North Texas Squad of Star Garrison, Larry Paterka, TD 1529 of Old Line Garrison. Buckets off to all these troopers and their families. You will all be missed, and you will all never be forgotten. Your legacy and memory will live on among the Eternal Legionnaires.
Thanks for that, Matt.
Yeah, thanks, Matt.
And just kind of wrapping things up for everyone here. In the weeks and reactivating our online presence, where you can post your feedback and comments and listen to the previous episode of the show. The 501st Cast is an easy way to catch up. I lost my place. The 501st Cast is an easy way to catch up on a few weeks of Legion news while driving, at the office, or working out. But if you're looking for up-to-the-minute news, you'll need to get it from the 501st social media, Facebook, Instagram, all the channels that we have our lovely, lovely Legion PR officers handle. So make sure you follow us and like and subscribe, all those avenues. Join in the discussion as thousands of fellow fans share their passion for trooping, Star Wars, and charity.
And then we do have a shout out. We have a shout out for here: Anthony, Chris, Matt, Mikey, who's not here, but he's behind the scenes. Their willingness to restart this podcast. We are all busy trooping and jobs and family, and it was just wonderful that we all met at the right time to restart this podcast. And so we'd like to also extend a deep and heartfelt thank you to all the previous hosts of the 501st cast. So I just want to thank everyone for listening, and thank you guys for being willing to, talk Star Wars for the 501st Legion.
Always. Thank you, Mike. Thanks, everybody.
So this is where the fun begins, right? Of course, we do have our legal disclaimer, so please don't sue us for anything. No, the 501st Legion. Oh, go ahead.
Is that the full disclaimer? Don't sue us for anything.
For anything. See, it just covers everything. We're perfect, right? So the 501st Legion is a worldwide Star Wars costuming organization comprised of and operated by Star Wars fans. While it's not sponsored by Lucasfilm Limited, it follows generally accepted ground rules for Star Wars fan groups. Star Wars, its characters, costumes, and all associated items are the intellectual property of Lucasfilm, copyright and trademark Lucasfilm Limited, all rights reserved, used under authorization.
Thank you, everyone. May the Force be with you.
Hello, this is Weird Al Yankovic, and you're listening to the 501st Cast. Aren't you?